What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider.
You should
and
keep
I am
all that
joined...
in. You should keep all that in. You're probably not going to keep it in, and I look crazy because it's like, what is he talking about? What should he keep in? You should keep all that in. Take that out. We can't even use that because I use obscene language. There you go. I did it. I saved us. Yay. You got to do your intro again.
I am joined by Mr. VIP, Frankie Washington. How are you doing
Oh,
today,
my
sir?
God.
That's what they got the censor button for. That's what you got the censor button
no
for. Just bleep it
way.
out. Just bleep it out.
Oh, my. Okay. Well, I am awesomely using profanity in our intro, in our monologue. Because that's the type of guy I am.
No other one like it.
How are you, sir?
I am fantastic. Oh, just happy to
Mister?
be back. No, I'm not Mr. Fantastic. He got shredded up
don't
by
stretch it out?
Wanda. Nah. He got peeled like street
That's
cheese.
It's just that one, though.
Just that one.
It changed his name to Armstrong in that situation. He was stretched. Armstrong. It was like, Pop. No, really. I mean, that's just him.
Yeah, I know. There are other variants.
We're not here for this.
No.
We're not here for that. We're not talking about Wanda. We're not talking about Dr. Mr. all those MCU properties. We're talking about Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Did you guys not see Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons? Clearly, if you haven't, you need to go watch it. Unless you're just here to stick around with us. So, for those who haven't seen it, 3, 2, 1. Yes, I held it long that time. It's okay because it's a longer episode than you probably used to. It's probably going to be a short episode. Who knows? Let's get into it. Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Let's go. Spider, tell the people what you're thinking about it because it's something.
It's something. This episode, we know we got some action in the first episode because they had the tourney and they had the knockdown, drag out brawl that happened when people just started killing each other and everything. We got some action in the form of the jousting and all other kind of stuff. But this episode showed you where they put that stunt choreography to work. Because
where the budget went?
I'm not gonna say where the budget went because I'm sure the budget goes to the dragons. That's where the budget goes. The budget goes straight to the dragons. No, the stunt choreography of Daemon, and I call it his last stand because Daemon went there to die. Daemon was like, "This is my final shot. If I'm not gonna make it, I'm taking out as many of you assholes as I can with me." And
can we just preference this?
Mm-hmm.
If you had a job at any point in time as a messenger, just go ahead and resign. It don't look good for messengers in a time when there's no email.
There's no cellular service.
Email was created. I think email was created because all these messengers was like, I need a way to get that message to them
without having to keep that.
Talk about the deliverer of bad news. And it was so taken the wrong way.
Yeah.
You would think that he was happy that his brother was, okay, well, I'm going to go and help my brother. And
no.
This infuriated Daemon to a point that he almost got the messenger killed. Talk about don't kill a messenger. It makes some twist and said, I'm going to do this because they were not doing well in the war.
No, not at all.
They were fighting the crab man, and the crab man went into the cave like a crab does.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, a nice little analogy.
Yeah, right? He's just going to back out.
Right. Anytime there's a threat that I can't beat, I'm just go ahead and retreat in the cave. You're not going to come and get me.
Go inside. Yeah, I'm just going to go inside. But Damon did come and get him. He went right in the dark.
Went right in there and just sliced the man in half.
Now, here's the thing that I'm really not getting. You was all big and bad hammering people to spikes and letting the tide come in and drown them, letting the crabs eat them. And when it comes time to fight, I felt like I got cheated a little bit out that fight scene. It was kind of hyped up, and then you just seen the outcome of it.
Because I honestly think that, and that's probably one of the reasons why, what's his name? Why Damon and Corliss wanted to bring the fight to him, because it was like, if we bring numbers at him, he doesn't stand a chance. Because I don't think the dude it wasn't like he was a great fighter. He was a great leader, right? So he could amass all of these dudes to fight for his cause, and then he just coming at the end for the people who are already beaten and bruised, spike their hands to the post, let crabs feed on them. So now I got the reputation and I got the name to follow me. So I have more followers are going to come because of what they hear about me. So I get them to do all the work. So when it comes down, that's again why he's retreating into the cave, because that's where his boys are. He can't fight on his own. So I don't think
he wasn't good at. He wasn't good at hygiene. No. It's clear that he let some of them things fester. Like, you got to get all that checked out, dude. You can't. That looked like dragon scale about to come on. Well, he dead now, so it ain't really that important. But I'm just saying, you can't be roaming around with them crabs. That's you got crabs on you. You might want to see a doctor about that. Seriously, that's not normal.
So, but one of the things that I liked is that even though they didn't explicitly state it, Crabfeeder was scared, was terrified of dragons. He was like,
did you see how he was looking at that sky? He wasn't a dumb crab feeder.
No.
He was a smart man.
Because
when he seen Damon come with the flag, he was like
this is a trap.
I'm not just about to slide out here.
Let me lean out the cave and look up a little bit. Let me see if I hear a dragon floating by. No, and then even still, he didn't approach Damon. He sent all his boys after him. He was like, "Go check him out." He's like, I'm not about to walk over there and get stabbed. Like, if he gonna do something, he gonna do it on y'all, not on me.
He gonna do it again. Intelligent dude, just can't fight. And then we've already seen Damon is at the upper echelons of level at fighting. Right. So the fact that he came in, wasn't surprised that he came in and started taking guys out. I think we went a little long with the arrow chasing.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know how fast he was, but maybe archers really can't aim.
I mean, but they did hit on both sides.
They did hit. Well, they paid it off because he did take 2 arrows,
he
2
took
or 3 arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even though you kind of ran it long, you at least paid it off. Like, it's not impossible.
I was like, I was really sitting there thinking, I was like, if he goes through all of that and then never get hit with a single arrow. And I was like, that's got to be some awful aim, because right. you're in armor. You can't be you can't be that athletic and that agile.
He was pretty good.
I mean, he's good, but he's not that good to what. If you have that,
if he would have been a roundhouse kick, I would have been like, damn.
Well, law of statistics, one of the arrows had to hit him, but I'm glad they, like you said, they made it not seemed like he wasn't going to get touched.
I would have been out. I was like, they lost.
Come on, man.
Yeah. But to go in the cave, I did feel cheated out of that fight scene, because it was an anticipation to get to that level. And then all of a sudden we just see him coming out. Man, I would have loved to see that killing stroke that just cut the crab in half. Right. And I was wondering if Damon had some garlic butter in his pocket, because anytime you crack a crab open, you got to drizzle it with that little garlic butter and let it run all down your arm. Crab, he would know what I'm talking about. Lots of people, too. You got to get that garlic butter in there. Clearly, that's what he was bringing the half out for, to make sure the guys didn't want crab meat. The war is over. What is now left? Because that's called cannibalism, ladies and gentlemen. The war is now over. Where do we go with Damon at this point? Is he really feeling himself that he can attack the kingdom and just challenge his brother for the Iron Throne? I mean, come on. We're talking knights. We're talking kings. We've seen it in Disney so many times. The son comes back to challenge for the throne.
Right.
We've seen it in Black Panther. We've seen it in Aquaman. We've seen it in The Lion King. Are we going down this way? Can Damon just say, you know what? I'm just about to take this thing. And if that's the case, can it be stopped? Wild theory time. It's like, wow, we're going wild theories right now. Somebody throwing them out. I'm swinging. I'm Derek Jeter with this goddamn theory, man. I'm about to look like a mop in the floor, but I'm saying I'm swinging. Okay, well, don't look at it that way. You're looking at it wrong. Clearly, you're swinging.
But I don't know if we're heading down this road. I don't think that, because it's one thing, because of course they're big on tradition, and the position of, you know, king sitting on an iron throne, it's never been like won by combat or, you know, inherited via war or anything like that. It's always a lineage thing. So we know Viserys believes in tradition.
You say that, but over the times, the houses have changed about who was sitting on the Iron Throne.
Mm-hmm.
And the Targaryens had it, and they had the rule because they had the dragons. But we know from talking to the king, the allure of controlling dragons is just a facade.
Right.
So somewhere along the line, that reality has to get discovered. That's how come we got changing, like from I think it was the Baratheons that became the lineage at one point in time. And clearly, you didn't see this because you didn't watch the original Thrones, but the Lannisters become kings of whatever too, King's Landing, and it's like all of in the north has to bend the knee. It's a lot of such. But the point I'm saying is, it does not necessarily always go traditionally. You know, in the bloodline, you can overthrow the king. In fact, Jaime Lannister killed the king. He was known as the King Killer.
Okay.
The Mad King Killer. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I am saying it's a possibility that could happen if Damon's really feeling this adrenaline from killing the crap. Like, this dude was seriously a threat to the kingdom. Though the king did not move on it, he was making his way. Like you said, he had more people joining his crusade, and it wouldn't be long before he had a formidable army to storm the castle.
Right.
So now your brother has killed this enemy. What's stopping him from having a bloodlust and going and kill his brother and take over the kingdom on his own?
Because I think that, like you're saying, with how you were talking about the last episode that we talked about how the King Killer, how those names stick. I don't think Daemon wants to have that, you know, attachment to his name. I think he wants to.
Really?
I think he cares. No, because he's a prideful dude, and I think that he wants to be adored and admired. You know, because how he was showing out at the tournament, how he acts because he stole the dragon's egg. He wants to be respected. He wants to be adored. So I don't think he will want the public opinion of him being that he's a bad guy. You know, even though he does like some off the wall type things, he still believes himself.
He's the Homelander of King's Landing.
He's what? The gallbladder?
The Homelander of King's Landing.
No, I'm not saying he's the Homelander of King's Landing, because Homelander would go and kill a king and not think twice about it. No, I don't think he's Homelander. But I think he wants to put a certain strategy in it to where, like, the king would lose like public opinion, and they would want Daemon, you know, kind of, you know, changing a monarchy to a democracy almost. I know that's not going to happen, but he would like to have the people love him over Viserys.
Yeah. Damn it, man. So that's just one aspect of the show that would happen in this episode. Right. We haven't even talked about the king and what he's doing.
6 months? No, not 6 months. How many years? 2 years. 2 year
Yeah,
time
we
jump.
picked up 2 years after the last episode, which picked up 6 months after the death
first
of the
episode.
Queen.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this question: is this something that's going to continuously happen? Are we going to keep aging up because we have a lot of story to get through, or what's the rush?
Look, I know that at some point we're getting adult Rhaenyra, adult Alicent, because every time I look at IMDb, I look at the episode breakdown, it says young Alicent, young Rhaenyra. So we're going to get them as adults. So there's going to be at least, I don't know how much time they're going to jump between now and the next episode. You know, like you said, we had the death of the Queen, then we jumped 6 months. Then after Viserys announced that he's going to marry Alicent, then now we jump 2 years. And so who knows, you know, how far we're going to jump in the next before we get to the next episode. But it's definitely going to
Did
be
you
some
watch
more
like
jump.
This Is Us?
I
Did
don't
you
know.
see This Is Us?
I watched a few episodes.
But they do a big time jump on that show. Spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen This Is Us. Man.
Yeah. But I think they're just focusing on they focus on just the two time periods, right? Back in the past when the dad was still alive, like we already said, spoiler warning. But back in the past when the dad's still alive, and then now in the present where they are now, you know, dealing with their lives, you know, after.
They also deal in the future, which you see their kids and their other grandkids.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Sterling Brown is in that show. Don't get me wrong. There's a whole cast of great actors in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna say it. We're not here talking about that.
Well, we're not here to talk about This Is Us. That's a whole nother family drama show.
The similarities of the time jump seems to be what they're leaning towards, because we keep getting time that is the Doctor Strange spell breaking down or something? I'm just saying, is there a reason why we're jumping time?
Because, I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing they have a lot of story that they want to get into in a short period of time, because I'm pretty sure, well, I don't know how the books are structured. I don't know how the books are structured, if they have different time jumps in the book as well. So they might be keeping true to that.
Nope. What else you got?
That's what I'm just saying. I don't know, but you've confirmed that it's not like that.
I like this. I want to preference this and say it's not bad at this point, and overall, it's still great narrative story-wise. Because again, I think if any other time you can get away with it, I think this is the time to get away with it, because it's not taking anything away from the story. In fact, it's progression of the story, because we're getting more information and a lot of things is happening. We're smart enough to follow along and say, okay, she had the baby, she's pregnant again,
right?
And let's see what we missed. They do a good job at filling in the gaps. If I'm saying nothing else, I'm saying that.
Yeah.
But there is a question that you're going to say, okay, why are we jumping? Because you're gonna miss something, and you're gonna want to see it play out. Just like I said, I got cheated out of my fight scene with the Crab King.
Well,
I wanted to see that.
What have we missed? Because if you think that something is going to be, or something significant happen in that period of time, would they not mention it? Or what do you think would be something that would have happened that we would want to see?
Venarius and his daughter, right? There's something that happened, because in that time, you're telling me in a 2-year time frame, right when you guys were mending fences, right when you guys were coming to terms about, I have to remarry, you're expected to remarry,
right.
But
that was before he said that he was going to marry Alicent. I think that's what broke everything down.
So you're telling me they haven't talked in 2 years?
I don't think that they haven't talked, because we can see
there's no internet. There's no internet. You can't just go in your room and play PlayStation or Xbox. You can't just turn on YouTube and start scrolling.
Yes, I understand that.
Go see me.
But I don't think that they did not talk, because it was no problem with her talking to him. It's that she didn't want to be around him, because you saw when they were whatever party or whatever they were having for the son, Rhaenyra was nowhere to be found. She was out in the garden, listening to the dude sing.
About tradition and hearing a song being sung over and over. That's how you do repeat back then.
Play it again from the top.
Play it again.
But yeah, that's so it's not that I don't think it's not that they didn't talk. I'm sure in official capacity they speak, but I don't think she was really entertaining him or having a conversation with him on just like an emotional level, because she just. You think they were?
I think if they weren't, that's a long time.
That's what I'm saying. I think. I mean, that's when it's still.
At the same time, now the new queen, because she did address her as queen, they did have that back and forth tussle. You're gonna tell me they didn't talk in 2 years? You're having 2 kids from my father. Even if I'm mad with you, those babies didn't do anything, and you're their aunt. So now the babies suffer?
No,
I'm just saying.
That's she's a sister.
Oh, that's even worse.
Worse.
I'm just because you wouldn't want to talk to your sister. You wouldn't want to love and embrace your sister.
But I'm not saying I don't think that she's holding it against the boy. She's holding it against her father and Allison. It's not that she's not. I mean, the boy is 2 years old, so it's not like she's going to hold a conversation with them. And we're going to talk about something that the hand Otto suggested in a minute, but. It's not that she's not going to talk to her brother, and I don't think she's going to hold anything against her brother. But like she said when they were in the carriage, nobody's here for me. This is not. I don't know why I need to be at this thing because this is not about me. You named me the heir to the throne, but now that the son is born, Igor, or whatever his name was, I forget what his name was.
I think that's wrong. It's actually probably right.
But now that he's born, everybody thinks that he should be heir to the Iron Throne just because he's the firstborn son. They don't want to see a woman on the throne. And so it wasn't until he told her, that,
I'm not going to take you off.
Yeah, until he told her that, there was once I thought about it. But I realized that no, I named you the heir. I didn't do it on a whim, and she's gonna be, I'm not replacing you. It's like I swear on your mother's life,
Big words. But as an audience, that locks us in like, oh shit, it's about to get real. You got a dragon on your side, but at the same time, people in thrones are shady.
Right.
They are criminally shady and manipulative. You've seen this with Otto sending his daughter to the king, and his plan worked.
Not only that, but Otto is trying to convince Viserys that his son should be the heir, to the point to where he even suggested betrothing the brother and the sister, Rhaenyra and her brother. Like, he's 2. Rhaenyra is 17 at this point. And now you're going to announce to the realm that they're to be married.
Otto was like the first iteration of MTV's Pimp Your Ride, but it was Pimp Your Daughter.
No.
And that's where they got it from.
No.
Thousands of years ago.
No.
It was like, hey, I got a daughter. So keeping that bloodline tight. Keep that bloodline tight.
That is too tight. That is too tight.
It's watertight. I don't think a molecule could get it.
No,
that's too close to my comfort.
That's so tight that it's glued together. Nothing is passing through.
I think that's one piece. Yeah, I think you're right. Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons. This is nothing new. This is what they do. They give you these conversational pieces because, man, you can't get away with this type of stuff in modern times. It was accepted. It was the way of the world back then. Fictionally, maybe. I wasn't there. I was told. I like Game of Thrones. We already said so many times that this show is super. You should be watching it. So we're going to just go ahead and tell you again. You should be watching this. This is the conversational piece that's going to happen at work. And you want to have something to contribute. Even though if you want to just not watch the show and watch us, we'll give you enough cliff notes that you can go in and have a conversation about it. But real fans know, because they're going to say, hey, you remember when? And we might have not talked about that. And now you're like, oh, I didn't see that part. I had to run to the bathroom. It's like a 3-minute scene. What are you doing in there? Hey, man.
I've been having some troubles. Don't worry about me.
Yeah. 1 out of 4 men.
Well, we haven't even talked about just Rhaenyra breaking down and all of the anger and rage that she's been holding within her with so much poise and grace just kind of came out. And I feel sorry for the board that jumped on her, because he did not make it. And just
first, shout out to Rhaenyra for thinking about bacon.
More bringing it back home.
I'm about to bring this bacon straight to. They had pulled pork sandwiches. Somebody had rib.
Right.
She was like about to chop it up. Now it's crazy because that boar looked like he was trying to have a Leonardo DiCaprio in Irrelevance with the bear. The bear came and mauled Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, Revenant.
That's what I was trying to say. That word, it didn't, but you can rewind it.
Gotcha.
And see that I didn't say it. That's what I wanted. But the point I'm saying is, I thought this boar was about to, get medieval.
Right.
Next thing you know, he got the point.
Yeah, he literally got the point.
Get off her, dude. And then when she was like, "Oh, just like surviving R. Kelly," I'm like, ah. And everybody got bacon.
But did you see how badass she looked? Just walking in, covered in blood, just like she looked manic, but she looked determined. Like that was a look on her. It's like, I'm going to, especially because after she saw the white stag, that was the king of King of Kingswood. This is the symbolic icon of royalty, and it appears to her and not to King Viserys, which he thought he was going to get, to give him the sign that he should name his son the heir to the Iron Throne. But it's like she has this newfound determination, like, yes, this is going to be my title, and there's nothing that is going to stop me, nor beast nor man, from being the queen. And I love it. I love the symbolism.
Interesting. And since we're talking about the symbolism, the fact that they put that on top of King Rhaenyra and how he killed his stag, it was painful to watch. Right. It's like, but the king's he's weak. Yeah. He's dying.
We saw he's lost 2 fingers now.
He lost 2 fingers.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah.
I was in the.
Because when I found out that there was, it was like all throughout the show. But no, because when I realized that they did a 2-year jump, I'm like, okay, well, we know that his hand was infected. So what happened to it? And you can see in some scenes, he doesn't show it a lot. He doesn't gesture around with it a lot. But yeah, he's missing 2 fingers on his hand.
Oh, they had to cut those bad boys off to make sure that infection didn't spread.
Exactly. Because after it went from probably the first finger to the second finger, they were like, all right, well, we got to, get rid of it.
This guy's been falling apart since day one.
Yeah.
And story-wise, great. I don't see him making past season 1.
No. He's definitely going to be dead before the end of the season.
And you're in front of your whole court, and you're supposed to come in with the killing blow as a king. Yeah, the king came and killing blow.
Nope.
But
Once more, my lord, a little to the left.
Oh, my grace. Right here. I'm gonna take this Sharpie and draw it right here, my lord.
take a piece of charcoal, put an X, circle it.
Trying to hold his hand, like right here, my lord.
Get behind him. Get behind him like you're teaching him how to bowl.
Right, just you the king. You supposed to be like, done. Let's go.
Right.
Wrap this up. I mean, they did the hard part. They tracked the thing down.
You just came out. You're like, hey, we saw one. He's like, all right, cool. Let me know when you find it. They tracked the thing down, roped it down, caught it. It's like, all right, now we got it. And then you come back and just kill it. That's all you got to do. One job. That's all you got. One job.
They're looking at this dude like, dude, I could come push you down right now. Just the whole king. Like, you're not doing well, my guy.
Right.
My boy.
No.
Stop sitting on that throne, my guy. That shit killing you.
Yeah. But you can see he's just like getting off the horse, just sitting down. You can see he's tired. He's weary. And it's just like they definitely, even though they didn't, I know it was 2 years, so the girls, Alicent and Rhaenyra, they didn't like really age up too much. But the king, Viserys, looks visibly older than he was, the in episode 2. It's like the hair looks like it's starting to go back a little bit. It looking like very wiry, not like full. And yeah, he's look like he's aging fast. And if they keep doing time jumps like this, I don't think he's going to be around in the next episode, or either he's going to die in the next episode.
Well, I'm not going to call it that soon. I think it's going to be more like a season ender. And that's just going to bring us into season 2 because all things is going to be on her back. But honestly, at this point in time, she needs some allies. She needs more than just this love interest that's really...
But Kristen Cole.
Ooh, that sounds so fancy. Though he has had battle experience, and clearly their relationship has gotten closer over the time jump.
But he also got taken out by a boar. The boar took his ass out.
The boar got your woman. He was all on top of her, humping and doing all kind of Leonardo DiCaprio in what's the name of the movie?
Revenant.
That's what I could have said if I would have said it. But the idea, the boar was getting it on. But he got the point after a while. But I'm saying he shouldn't have got that close. You're supposed to be the bodyguard. You're supposed to be security.
Right.
Now she traumatized clearly because she cut that bacon up. She came back to camp like, I got y'all.
Right.
What y'all eating? Salad? I got y'all. Give me about a couple of hours. I'll go dig this pit.
Slow roasted.
Listen. Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, a lot going on in this thing. I love it. All the backstabbing and manipulation. Here's the funny part. I don't think Otto wants his grandson to be king. Not right now. This is just a theory.
Okay.
But because he's so young and to hold that inheritance of being next in line to be king, you got a huge target on your back, man.
True.
Like I don't think, he's only 3 or 2
He's 2
or 3.
Yeah.
It's like 3, right?
2.
It looks like he's about 4.
But he's 2. Viserys literally said when Otto suggested that Rhaenyra be betrothed to his son, that's why he went, he's 2.
Pimp my child.
That's exactly.
No, I'm just saying he looked like he in a stroller, curling, drinking a birthday cake. The little dude big is what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, I'm out here. I'm out here. Well, I hate to see him when he's 14. Goddamn. Shit. Looked like 14 was yesterday. I'm just saying they could have got a smaller kid for 2. But I guess, they breed them big back then. I don't know. So, what's up, y'all?
I'm out the womb ready to chop down a tree.
I'm here for the Just Games.
Full beard and everything.
Yeah, well, don't talk about my life like that, man. I always had this thing. Favorite part of the episode? What was your favorite part of the episode?
Favorite part of the episode was the fight. favorite part of the episode was the fight because I know that
The one we got
Damon's.
cheated on?
Wait, what? Oh, the
The
one we
one
got
we got
cheated on.
cheated on?
Well, I mean, we got cheated on. There wouldn't be a fight, but no, like I said, I call that like Damon's last. Like, well, you saying we got cheated on it, so there was no fight. I can't say that my favorite part was the fight when there was no fight.
Okay. When you said what you said, I instantly went to couples therapy, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, that doesn't make sense in a couple. Or maybe it does.
No, the fight.
If you didn't get cheated on, there wouldn't be no fight. Right.
If it's not there, I can't say that I enjoyed it.
It's wiser than he knows. I'm just saying. Go ahead and talk about the fight.
Like Damon's last run. He was so determined because he gets the letter that his brother's sending help, and he was like, I have to do something to show him that I don't need his handouts. I don't need his charity. I don't need his help. But like you said, they had been getting beat for the last 2.5 years because Damon and Corliss went on their own. Right, exactly. Corliss's brother is like, you talking about the dragons like they're so great. We are losing. And I'm not the only one that feels like this. Like the dudes are upset. And so we get that letter in which Corliss wanted all along because he thought it would show strength to see, the House Targaryen and the House Valerian, riding in the battle together. And so that's what Corliss wanted. But for Daemon, and it's funny that the king said, deliver this to Daemon. Not to Corliss, not to the general, not to have somebody else read it. Deliver this to Daemon. So do we think that Viserys, knowing that they were getting beat, sent that to Daemon because he knew it was going to rub it in his face? It's like, you wanted to go off and do this on your own. Now you're failing. Now I'll send you help.
Big brother is coming to save you. I'm going to send you 10 ships. 10. Not the whole fleet, just 10.
No, not the whole fleet. But that's just having Daemon see that and get just so, I guess, blinded by rage that first he take it out on Messenger about to get curb stomped, and poor Messenger.
I want you to deliver this message. He died. I died in battle. That was my last day. I haven't been back to the kingdom.
Wait, how did he not have battle? All he had to do was deliver the message and come back.
I died.
But
I will be at my hut at the house telling my wife, well, it's time, my love. The king wants me to deliver a message.
Right.
I should know.
Telling them to go and deliver a message like they're going to war. But
I'm going to a kingdom.
But we don't know how long. We don't know how long it took for Daemon to formulate his plan and everything, because obviously he had some type of strategy going on. Pretend to surrender, then I would assume that he thought that Crafty was going to come out, and then he'd kill him there. But like you said, Crafty is smart. He's not going to just step out when he's not sure what the situation is. And so Daemon, I knew that he wasn't just going to surrender. I knew that for a fact. So that part didn't fool me. But what I didn't know was exactly what he was going to do next. And so we see the archers already knocked. Even while he was walking up, he's waving a white flag. They're like, we don't even trust him, even though he is surrendering. And so he goes in and just, basically fights as many guys as he can. And Craft Eater literally had an army. Like, dudes were piling out of the cave like it was a football team coming out of the tunnel, like it's ready time for kickoff. And it was just repeated, just dudes and dudes and dudes. And it's like, all right, Daemon is apparently on his last legs, but he's still standing up. He's still ready to fight. And then he gets his backup. The backup dragon comes in, does a nice little circle, takes everybody out. And then cavalry comes.
Daemon was done.
Yeah.
They were surrounded. They were moving in. It was not looking good for him. In comes the cavalry.
Right.
the hot cavalry with that hot breath, burning down the goddamn whole area.
Right.
And spoiler warning, there's dragons in this show.
Jesus Christ.
For those who didn't know, there are dragons in it.
Yes,
and those dragons are awesome. I sound like a 6-year-old saying it. Those dragons are awesome. You know why? Because those goddamn dragons are awesome. Game of Thrones, House of Dragons. What are you going to tell the people, Spider? What are your closing thoughts for the people on this show?
I'm excited. It's great writing. I've seen some critical reviews about the show. Some people, and this is probably going, critical reviews.
Besides us,
there are some people, and I'm assuming, I don't know how Game of Thrones was paced, but there's some people saying that the House of the Dragons is too slow. It says too slow paced for them. It's too boring. There's not enough going on. So
there's just people that don't have popcorn. That's all that is. If you have popcorn, you would eat your popcorn and watch this show.
But
so get some popcorn.
Get some popcorn. But I mean, final thoughts on the episode is I'm appreciating the time jumps. I don't feel the same way that you do about thinking about what it was that I missed in between those time jumps, because I feel like if it was significant enough, then I would think they would have included it, they would have mentioned it, or it would happen like here at this point in time where we jumped to. So I don't feel like I missed out on anything. I feel like, we get a little bit of, dialogue where it kind of says that, okay, it's been 2 years, we see that Alicent is pregnant. We hear the argument between Viserys and Rhaenyra that she has not been attending to her duties. She's not been around. She's always off running, hiding someplace.
Pour wine. She's mad. She doesn't want to be the cupbearer bringing cups. She's hot right now.
Right.
It's hot out here in these streets of King's Landing.
Yeah. And so we hear that there's been letters coming from different kingdoms wanting Rhaenyra's hand in marriage, and Viserys has been thinking about who he's going to marry her off to. And so it's the things like that where we kind of get caught up on that I don't feel like I missed out on. So I'm appreciative of the time jumps, because get us, at least for me, like I said, at least for me, the non-experienced Game of Thrones watcher, if I want to get into a new type of show, I think the best way to suck in a person like myself is to be able to see the story progress. If I'm sitting here and, there's not a lot going on, there's just a lot of dialogue, it's a very talky show, then that kind of slows down things. And I feel like I wouldn't get invested as quick, because you can talk about, plotting and backstabbing and treachery and all this other kind of stuff. But if there's no intensity to go along with it, then it's just talk at the end of the day, and talk gets boring. But we've seen dragons in three straight episodes now, so the dragons, like you said, it's spoiler warning, dragons are there, but
dragons in it.
But we see, obviously there's going to be the politicking. There's going to be probably some, love interest, love story type stuff. There's still going to be the action, the intensity, and you tie it all together, and then you have, from these 3 episodes, you have a super show in the making.
In the making.
Well, it's in the making because it's not done yet.
Yeah, they're still making it.
Right.
So I agree with all of that. I don't hate the time jumps. I understand and I appreciate the stuff that they're giving us, but I do feel like they can give us I just feel like this episode cheats us a little bit, not in a bad way, not in a horrible way, but at the same time, we're getting invested and it is moving the story forward. I'm not saying it's a strike against them. It's something that I raise my eyebrow to because I'm noticing it's kind of consistent. And I'm just wondering if it's going to continue to be consistent, because what will we start to miss if we keep jumping? Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be the Prince learn to walk or fumble and fall, or even his, Pee Wee career when he started to play football. I'm not trying to see all that. I'm just trying to say I don't want to miss
Play for
some of those.
Targaryen Park. Their mascot is the dragons.
That would be awesome. Like, go on! Ah! That ball's not coming back. But
they're throwing dragon eggs.
That's just wrong. That's wrong.
It gives them more incentive to catch them.
Oh wow, you're right. It's wrong. Them dragons gonna kill all y'all. Listen, if y'all not watching House of Dragons at this point, it's not too late to jump, man. We're 3 episodes in. You can binge watch that through the weekend and come back and have a great conversation at the water cooler or the office or the job, because these are the shows that you're going to talk about. And then, this, like I said before, instead of saying, "Oh, there are dragons in that show," I can't get
this argument from that. Nobody wants to watch the show because they have dragons. No, they don't want to watch it because they have dragons in it.
Right. That's what they're saying. I can't get behind a show with dragons because I watch things real, like, the Bachelor and the Bachelorette. That's real TV right there. That's about a guy and a girl, and they get together, and he got so many girls, he got to choose one. He has to choose. There ain't no dragons in there, just some cold women. All right.
How do you turn into Quagmire at the end?
No, I can't do that. Don't say that. You gotta go giggity for you. But there are dragons in this show. And it's a good show. And it's set in a time that you can get away with more stuff than you can in the modern time. And so you gotta appreciate it for that. It takes your entertainment and it pushes it right to that edge. And right when you think that it won't go over the side, it goes over the side. You're like, oh my God, they went over the side. I can't believe they went over the side. And so you tuned in next week to see if they'll go over it again. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, they will. So I'm here for it. Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, HBO, HBO Max, HBO Plus, HBO Kids.
No, definitely not HBO Kids. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
If you guys are feeling this one, leave something in the comments. You want to chop it up? We can talk about it.
But let us know what you thought about House of the Dragon, episode 3. If you've been keeping up with the episodes here and the episodes on HBO Max, we appreciate you, first of all. But we want to know your opinions on what you think about how the season is going so far. So leave that in the comments below. But remember, if you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and then hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes go out. If you want the audio version of the show, you can find us on your podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to join in on the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
A lot of stuff going on in these dragon shows, man. You think about if a dragon's flying, right? And it decides to. Who's dealing with that? Who's dealing with falling dragon poop? You cannot say this didn't happen around there. Dragons flying, take a poop. fucking dragons. Now I gotta go get back in the lake and shower again. Goddamn dragons. Put your dragon on a leash. This is where How to Train Dragons got so popular because nobody's trying to deal with that toothless drop. All right, I'm done.
You have to housebreak your dragons.
Gross.
Thank you for joining us this week. We appreciate y'all.
Dragon whisperers, so call them.
We'll see you in the next episode.